Whitney, Mariah, Aretha, Celine. When you think of the greatest vocalists of all time, it's usually those women that come to mind. Beyonce, not so much. Many people only see her as like a dancer, entertainer who can only shake her ass. They don't take her seriously as a singer. She's just a performer to them. And for me, I can't figure out why. I mean, I wouldn't put her on the level of the vocal trinity or Aretha. She's definitely not on their level. But she is a really great vocalist in my opinion. And so I've been racking my brain the last few weeks wondering why she's not taken seriously as a singer. And in like a eureka moment, it came to me. I think there's 4 different reasons why Beyonce isn't taken seriously as a singer. I'm going to go over those with you right now. First reason, Beyonce is a great vocalist now, but she didn't start off that way. It took her a long time to become a great vocalist. If you listen to her vocals back during the Destiny's Child days, or even when she first went solo with Dangerously in Love, her vocals are mediocre to slightly above average at best. Just take her song Dangerously in Love, for example. She did an original version on the Survivor album, the Destiny's Child Survivor album, and then she did the song again for her first solo album, Dangerously in Love. Her vocals are just okay there, like I said, maybe even slightly above average, but nothing too major. When you compare her vocals back then to how she recently did Dangerously in Love on her Renaissance World Tour, the vocal growth is enormous. It's a freaking tsunami of vocal growth. It's like night and day in terms of the vocal prowess she's gained since then. But I don't think, for me, it wasn't until the Destiny Fulfilled era, the last Destiny's Child album that came out in 2004, 2005, around there, that was the first time I really thought that Beyonce was something special as a vocalist. And she just kept improving and growing with each era until we get to the Ford era, which is the first era where I think that Beyonce could compete with the greats. The Ford era is the first Beyonce era in which I think she can compete with the greats. Like, I don't think she can outdo, like I said, the vocal trinity or Aretha, but she can keep up with them. She wouldn't be embarrassed by them like she would early on in her career. So that's the first reason why I don't think Beyonce is taken seriously as a vocalist, because she didn't start out as a great vocalist. Second reason, it's her discography. Beyonce has some vocally impressive songs in her discography, especially live. She's got Love on Top, she's got Listen, she's got I Care, she's got 1+1, and so on and so forth. But those are songs you know more if you're a fan of Beyonce and you own her music and you go to her concerts. If you're just a casual listener, you only know her for the stuff like Crazy in Love, Single Ladies, Irreplaceable. Well, not Irreplaceable, Crazy in Love, Single Ladies, Formation, stuff like that. For every 1+1 and Love on Top and Listen in Beyonce's discography, there's 2 or 3 Formations and Upgrade Yous and stuff like that. And the Formations and Upgrade Yous are what Beyonce is known more for by the general public. Those are her big songs, especially Single Ladies. I mean, those songs aren't bad, mind you. I'm not saying they're bad or they're terrible. They're just not vocally impressive songs. So if Beyonce is known more for that than her vocally impressive songs, then of course she's not going to be taken seriously as a vocalist, especially when compared to people like Whitney, who's known more for stuff like I Will Always Love You and I Have Nothing, or Aretha, who's known for stuff like Natural Woman and Respect, and so on and so forth. So reason 2 why Beyonce isn't taken seriously as a vocalist is her discography. Reason 3 is her televised performances. And this kind of goes hand in hand with reason 2. Beyonce has some truly impressive vocal performances, but she mostly keeps them to her concerts and tours. Like, you don't hear her really showing out her televised performances. Like, take for example, back in 2013, where she performed at President Obama's second inauguration. She did the national anthem. She lip-synced that performance, and she got dragged to hell and back for it. There's a lot of controversy and backlash for her because of that. And even with her lip-syncing performance, the vocal performance was just okay. I mean, it wasn't terrible or the worst national anthem ever, but it wasn't great or anything like that either. About a week or 2 later, Beyonce sang the national anthem live at her Super Bowl press conference to show people that she really could sing and that she was only lip-syncing because of, I think she didn't have time to rehearse with the band, was the reason why she gave. And so when she sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl press conference, again, I mean, it wasn't terrible or the worst national anthem I've ever heard, but it wasn't like this wow, impressive vocal performance either. It's nothing compared to what she does on her tours, and it's nothing compared to some of the better national anthems that we've heard either. Like Whitney Houston has the best national anthem, the most revered national anthem. They call it Your Voice for a reason. Beyonce's version is nowhere near that, and I'm not trying to start like anything between Beyonce and Whitney fans. I'm just saying that Whitney's is more impressive than Beyonce's. Then you go to Beyonce's Super Bowl performance that she did in I think it was late January, early February 2013. She did sing that completely live. She even said during her press conference she's going to do it completely live because that's what she was made to do. She's a real performer and singer. And then her vocal performance, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't the best vocals ever, but they were good. They were okay, but they weren't like wow or anything like that. And it's the same. It's even worse for her 2016 Super Bowl performance because with that she was just doing Formation, which I already said isn't a vocally impressive song. So yeah, like when those are the stuff that Beyonce is known for in the general public, those type of performances, of course they're not going to take her seriously as a vocalist. She needs to do more vocally impressive performances like she does in her concerts and tours if she wants people to take her seriously as a vocalist. Anyway, that's number 3 of why Beyonce is not taken seriously as a vocalist is because her best performance are at her concerts and not at the televised performances where most of the general audience is going to see her. The last reason why I think Beyonce is not taken seriously as a vocalist is because of her tone. Now, I know tone is subjective, but I've heard enough complaints about Beyonce's tone over the years to where I feel like we just can't dismiss this as being a subjective form of criticism. And I think since people are complaining a lot about her tone being bland, generic, lifeless, it worth mentioning for the reasons why people don't take her seriously as a vocalist. I myself somewhat fall into this category. I don't find her tone to be bland or generic, but I kind of see why people don't feel moved by her tone or her vocal delivery. For me, I've always said that Beyonce's an impressive vocalist, not an expressive vocalist. And what I mean by that is her voice can impress you with all the crazy risks and runs and high notes that she can do, but her voice doesn't move me. I never felt moved by Beyonce's vocals, at least not until her most recent album, Cowboy Carter. And this might be actually the main reason why Beyonce is not taken seriously as a singer. If people aren't moved by your voice, if they don't feel anything, if they find your voice to be bland and generic, they're not going to take you seriously as a singer, even if you do have all these crazy runs and risks and high notes in your vocal bag. Anyway, this has just been my PC Pop Culture Musings. I'm Kahoko. If you like this podcast, please like and subscribe. Thank you and take care.